Could we talk for just a minute about how the U.S. and Mexico could build on their trade relationship and increase trade between the two countries?
Yes. Well, up to now, it's been very successful. What we've been building together through NAFTA, together Canada, United States, and Mexico, but mainly Mexico and United States. So what we have to do is to awaken NAFTA because it's a little bit dormant. And this is the purpose of this reunion we're having here at the university, hosted by the university, because what we're trying to do is to work back again on NAFTA, not only to make sure that it recovers its dynamism that it has had and the benefits to each of the three nations, but also that we launch a new vision. NAFTA is just the beginning. We can see a NAFTA Plus ahead, which is further integrating, that will bring many additional benefits to our three nations.
How specifically could we have a NAFTA Plus? What specifically could we do to improve NAFTA?
Well, I think this first step, where we have worked with for 10 years, is just trading among ourselves. And we should move now from trading to a real partnership, where we work together as a group, as a bloc, and that we then start working towards homogenizing, harmonizing, for instance, our duties for imports and exports, that we can start harmonizing our financial systems, that we can start implementing rules, regulations that are standard for the three of us. Things as simple as a degree, a title coming from a university, a master's degree. Some people in Mexico would not accept degrees attained here in universities, and the other way around. When a doctor, a medical doctor comes here, I mean, he is not accepted as that, and he cannot exercise his profession here in the United States. I think there are many small issues and also many big issues that we have to deal with, so that we start having a real partnership, that the floor is flat for everybody, that we start avoiding the problems and obstacles that we have in the border, or that we have in our set of regulations and laws.
Could it ever be like the European Union, do you think, where we had almost a seamless trading system?
Well, to me, it's an inspiration, and it's not just trading. I mean, what they have is a supranational organization without losing sovereignty, culture, or anything, each one of the nations. But all of them together on this partnership. It's not a trade agreement, it's a partnership where they all go on the same boat. Even they gone as far as having the same currency today, the euro, that substituted local currencies. And they have a European Parliament. You don't need a passport to move as citizen of the European Union. Now, I would only say that it's an inspiration. It's a very bright idea, but has to be adapted to our circumstance here in North America. I think there are many good ideas that we can take from that 50-year-old exercise of a project that has brought him to such a great integration. And now what you see there is that among people, the distribution of income is insignificant compared to what you have here in the United States. Or the difference in income among nations also has become very insignificant. Today, Ireland has about the same per capita income than France or than Germany or than Britain. Today, Spain is very close to the per capita income of the leading nations. And now the newcomers, the Poland, the Bulgaria, the Czech Republic, Turkey, are joining in the union, and now they begin this process of reducing the gap, increasing their income. And the most significant thing is that nobody has lost income. Some say, oh yes, now Ireland is very close or equal to Germany. But it's not because Germany decreased its income. It's because both of them increased, but Ireland did it faster than Germany.
If we could ever get close to that kind of vision here, would that actually help eliminate the whole issue about illegal immigration to the U.S. and some of the other problems that we're now dealing with?
Well, I would answer that with this thought, or this question. What would be better for United States than having a healthy, wealthy neighbor in peace, working, and with the same income that this nation has? Something that already happened between Canada and United States. The per capita income is about the same. A worker's income is about the same. So when you have that, you don't have problems in the border. You can open the border to go back and forth freely if you wish to do so. But that's not the case in Mexico because the differences are still too wide. So one clear objective of these instruments, because at the very end it's only an instrument, NAFTA, the clear objective is to narrow the gap, to converge on fundamental variables of the economy among the two economies. And once you reach that, then you're solid partners, you progress together, you reinforce your capacity to do because you have a neighbor that has all those resources.
Could it even help with the drug problem that Mexico is now dealing with? The
well, I would separate, in the case of drugs, the issue of violence and the issue of drug consumption. The problem, which today in the state is mentioned as the problem of Mexico, is the problem of the United States, because the one that consumes the drugs is United States citizens. And the one that permits the drug to be distributed and lets circulate within its territory is United States. Because the question is, when the drug crosses the border, who moves it? Who takes it to the Chicago market? Who brings it to the Atlanta market? Who takes it to Seattle? Who collects the money from selling the drug? Who launders that money? Who brings that money back to bribe Mexican officials? Or the same thing happens with Venezuela, Hugo Chavez Venezuela's, where he's on his way of running the nation. I mean, he's very free with drugs, and he's not doing the right job. So you have the producing countries like Venezuela, you have the transit countries like Mexico, and then you have the consumer countries like United States. So it's a joint responsibility. We all have to work together. Now, yes, if we would have a successful NAFTA, what then we would have is more developed societies, higher degrees of education, better income to everybody. But still, if you don't worry about educating at home in values and the wrong and bad that is consuming drugs, if you don't educate in school, you're not going to end up with a problem.